Kid from Pallet Town with a brand new world to see. Don't know what's ahead, but it won't get the best of me. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Ren Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Pokemon sales data video. A little bit of an update on a couple of things. Before we get into the actual sales, I just started a new subject on things to watch over the next couple of days or weeks. It's just something that is coming up that I know of that's either on auction or will be on auction. Currently, the stuff that is on auction would be a Lugia First Edition PSA 7. That is something that is $1,300 as of the making of this video on auction. It's got another like 5 or 6 hours left to go. So that 7, I think, max price we've seen is like $1,800, something like that. So just be advised, it could be a new record price point. Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 9 also ends today. That's currently at $54,000. I myself will value that at about $90,000, but it's open auction, had a lot of publicity via SM Pratt, and it'll probably get probably around 70, 80. I still think that's undervalued if it gets that. We have an Illustrator from PWCC PSA 7. This is something that is one of the most, that is the most coveted card in the hobby. Obviously grade, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but if you have a PSA 9 that with cash and trade-in value at having to sell for about $900,000, and this PSA 7 sight unseen when people heard about it, again as per SM Pratt, was people throwing like $500,000 around sight unseen. So this is something I think we're going to see a lot of cross collectors in because it's public. It's PWCC. It's the largest auction house in the U.S., I believe. That's public anyway. This is going to be one of the craziest PWCC auctions. In conjunction with that, we do have 5 Blaine's Charizards First Edition PSA 9. That's going to be on that auction. So if you want one, if you don't want to spend 5 figures for the PSA 10 and you're just looking to get one for $2,000 or under $2,000, this is your chance. You would probably get one under $1,500 just because there's going to be so many out there. There's going to be 5 of them. So good luck to you guys on that. We also have Mewtwo First Edition PSA 9 that's on auction right now. Remember like a month or two ago, after the huge spike for the Logan Paul Bowl, it kind of didn't crash. It had a nice correction that we needed, that was healthy for the hobby. That's something that Mewtwo First Edition PSA 9 from base set you could have got for less than $2,000. Now this one's up to $3,100 already, so it's over. The dip is over. I hope you guys got cards while you could. I unfortunately could not take advantage of that dip as I was having to sell during that dip in order to pay for that Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 10. We also have a Gold Star Espeon on auction that ends today, PSA 10, from SM Pratt as well. That current bid is $4,250 if you want one. They don't appear very often. So let's go into the sales. Skyridge, we had a Crystal Kabutops PSA 10, sold for $13.25. I love those crystal cards, those Golem, those Nidokings. They're just peak. They're peak illustration. Peak Hollow is such beautiful cards. Gym Challenge, we have Giovanni's Nidoqueen First Edition PSA 10, sold for $205. That is a record price point. I don't believe any of the rares have reached $205. Obviously, the hollows is one thing. Hollows always going to get a premium, but this rare is a non-hollow, and it's the first one from Gym Challenge, I think, to get that $205. Actually, no, it's a lie. Sabrina's Gengar. Yeah, that did. And actually, even if we're going outside of rares, Sabrina's Abra, because there was only like 11 of them, because nobody got it graded, was selling for like $250. So yeah, that was a lie. Sorry, guys. We have a Blaine, just himself, First Edition PSA 9, sold for $155. Blaine's Arcanine First Edition PSA 9, sold for $810. During the dip, that went down to like $600. I expect that to be around $1,000 after Pokemon Day, 27th. Oh yeah, so I didn't mention that the other day. So we have Katy Perry already attached to like this year with that 30-second video of her saying electric. And then we had a tweet from Pokemon themselves that Post Malone is going to be heading the concert on February 27th, which is Pokemon Day. It's also the day that Logan Paul is opening that box. And that is also the day that big PWCC market ends with the Illustrator. So that is going to be, I think, the hugest day in Pokemon history just because there's so much going on. And it's not like, oh, well, we have this and we have that. No, like they are 3 huge things that just millions and millions of people are going to watch. I'm sorry, still sticking with this. Giovanni's Gyarados First Edition PSA 10, so for $939. There is less than 140 of these copies in the world. I don't know why this is getting under like $2,000, but $939. That's and I looked at the card. looks fine. That's stupid undervalued in my opinion. Actually, because I paid down that PayPal credit line, I probably should have gotten this. If I'd bid $1,000, I'd have been very happy with that purchase. Neo Genesis. We had Blossom first edition PSA 10, sold for $710. I remember back in like October, I got one from actually Gary from King Pokemon for $350. So yeah, this doubled inside of 6 months. Lugia first edition PSA 9 sold for $5,800, and that was PWCC auction, just regular auction. Neo Destiny, we only had one. We had Light Azumarill first edition PSA 10 sold for $536. Promo, pre-release Clefable PSA 7 sold for $694. I'm so pissed I had to sell my 8. I'm so salty about that. I had to sell it for like $800 too. It's so undervalued. Tropical Wind 2009. It was a top 32. It was a raw copy. And a top 32 from 09 is not that rare. Like, that's for the Tropical Winds. That's like, oh, everyone has those. I would have given it an 8. This sold for $488. If this was actual 8 or even a 9, I don't know what this would have gotten. I think Tropical Winds are about to spike. It's unfortunate because I sold every one except for like one of them. Jungle, we only had one. We had a Pikachu first edition PSA 10, sold for $385. I think there's going to be a little bit of a dip in the Jungle, probably Eevee and Pikachu, just because so many people had so many of them. Even the first editions are just, and they're going to get graded now. Like all the ones that were graded last year, they're going to start coming back. So you're going to see a lot of supply. Fossil, we had Haunter first edition PSA 10, sold for $886. Lapras first edition PSA 9, sold for $356. And another one sold for $415. Kabutops, I told y'all Kabutops and Hitmonlee are flirting with that $1,000 line. This first edition PSA 10 sold for $1025. Then we had a Lapras first edition PSA 8, sold for $191. Speaking of Fossil, I did just send about 50 or 60 cards to my friend Joe. So we sent it to Lutkins to PSA. All of them were near mint. Like they'll get 8 to 10s. So and by the end of the year, I'll have a bunch of Fossil stuff for you guys if anyone wants them. First edition. They're only uncommons and common cards. I think I sold the rares raw. Gym Heroes, we have Rocket's Moltres first edition PSA 9 for $388, very respectable. Sabrina's Gengar first edition PSA 9 for $800. I like how Sabrina's Gengar, it's such good artwork. I love that so much. The art and history with that is great, but it's a regular Pokemon. Granted, one that you had to trade in order to get is doing better than Blaine's Moltres, which is like Moltres actually a legendary Pokemon. Misty's Tentacruel first edition PSA 10 sold for $660. Rocket set, a couple of these. We got a Rainbow Energy first edition PSA 9s for $148. Dark Blastoise first edition PSA 9s for $1085. Those are going back up. Dark Dragonite first edition PSA 9s for $810. I think I still have one of those. I gotta check. Dark Gyarados first edition PSA 10s over $1052. I think that is a record price point for that card. I don't think I've ever seen that go over $1,000. Dark Dugtrio, we have 2. I love that artwork so much, Dark Dugtrio. We had a first edition PSA 10 sell for $810 and a PSA 9 sell for $164. Then we had a Dark Slowbro first edition PSA 9 sell for $279. Alright guys, this is my Pokemon update video. I hope you all had a good one. I cannot wait to go over that Trophy Kangaskhan tomorrow and a bunch of other things. I can't wait for the 17th when that Illustrator comes. I'm just going to bid $100,000 right out the gate, knowing full well that I will definitely be outbid within like the hour. I will totally sell my Tesla for that. But even still, like even if I had enough Tesla shares to cover it, God, that's gonna be so much money. That I predict $700,000 that goes for minimum. But we'll see. All right, I love you guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comments good for the YouTube algorithm. Meow.